We're here for the Week 7 matchup, and we've got the latest updates for the Falcons. I'm going to give you all the details first, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay informed. Without further ado, let's get right to it. We have a crucial game against the Seahawks coming up, and today, we have some important roster moves to talk about that could make a real impact. Okay, let's get to it. The Falcons elevated two players from the practice squad, defensive back Natron Brooks and outside linebacker Damone Harris. Now, if you've been following along closely, you might remember Brooks from the preseason. The guy made waves back then, really stood out, but unfortunately didn't make the 53-man roster when training camp ended. He's been with us on the practice squad ever since, keeping himself ready for his chance. And now, he's here. Then there's Damone Harris. He's got some experience, 28 years old, 5 seasons in the league, and has appeared in 14 games. He recorded 11 tackles and 3 QB hits, and this is his first elevation of the season. So both of these guys are going to get an opportunity to contribute, and it couldn't come at a better time because we have a tough matchup on Sunday against a dangerous Seahawks team. Now, let's talk about the big picture here. Lorenzo Carter. He's been a staple for us at outside linebacker this season, but in a surprise move, he was placed on injured reserve with a concussion. The news started earlier in the week when it was reported that Carter had missed practice due to an illness. Then it was upgraded to a concussion, which caused him to miss the rest of the week. And now, he's out for at least the next 4 weeks. This is a big blow. You don't often see concussions put a player on IR unless it's very serious, so there's definitely some concern about how long he could be out. Carter has been a steady presence on defense, lining up across from Matt Judon and giving us that pressure on the edge. With him out, we'll be looking to Arnold Ebiketie and James Smith-Williams to step up and fill that void. But hey, don't forget, Seattle has its own issues. They're also dealing with some key injuries. Offensive lineman Stone Forsythe is out, and both defensive backs Rick Woolen and Trey Brown will also be out. Plus, there's still a question mark surrounding their star running back, Kenneth Walker, who has been downgraded to questionable. So while we're dealing with our own challenges, Seattle isn't coming in at full strength either. Back to our team, Kevin King was signed from the practice squad to the 53-man roster to help fill the void. He's played in all 6 games so far this season, mostly on special teams, but now he'll get a chance to make a bigger impact, especially with Brooks also being promoted. The secondary will have to step up big against Geno Smith, who we know can make some plays when given time in the pocket. With everything going on this week, from lineup changes to injuries, this game against the Seahawks is shaping up to be a test of depth and resilience for the Falcons. We've seen how these guys on the practice squad can step up when their number is called, and now it's Brooks and Harris's turn to make their mark. Plus, with Seattle's injury issues, there's a real opportunity for us to take control of this game early. All right, Falcons fans, those are the latest lineup changes for Week 7. What do you think of these changes? Do you think Brooks and Harris can step up? And how concerned are you about Lorenzo Carter being out for an extended period of time? Now, the buzz surrounding Flowery Branch isn't just about our upcoming Week 7 matchup with the Seahawks. No, Falcons fans have their eyes set on something bigger, the NFL trade deadline on November 5th. There's been a lot of talk about adding a pass rusher, and boy, do we need one. The name Max Crosby has been floating around fan circles, but hold your horses. While Raiders owner Mark Davis has shut down trade rumors, Crosby himself hasn't completely closed the door on a potential move, saying, "I'm here to win, and wherever I'm at, I'm going to be here to win." Could Crosby be the answer? Unlikely, but never say never, right? Falcons head coach Raheem Morris believes GM Terry Fontenot and his staff are turning over every stone to find ways to strengthen this roster, especially when it comes to the pass rush. We've got Matthew Judon doing his thing, but he needs help on the opposite side. If you think this team can make some noise this season, a trade for a solid pass rusher could be the game changer we need. But here's the thing, injuries could shift priorities. Imagine if someone like Darnell Mooney or Mike Hughes gets sidelined. Suddenly, we're looking at wide receivers or cornerbacks, not just pass rushers. It's a moving puzzle, and you never know what can happen in the NFL. While we wait to see if any trade deals go down, there's another Falcon making waves, and he's not even a household name yet. I'm talking about tight end Charlie Warner. If you don't know his name, you're about to. Warner might not be filling the stat sheets, but his blocking has been nothing short of a game changer for our run game. In Week 6 against the Panthers, Warner helped our running backs, like Tyler and Robinson, carve up 198 rushing yards. And let me tell you, Robinson is loving what Warner brings to the table. After the game, he said, "With Charlie on the offense, that dude's a monster." You heard it from one of the best young backs in the game. What makes Warner so special, you ask? Well, he's not your typical tight end. He's a 6th-round pick from the 49ers who's earned a reputation as one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. He doesn't care about the stats, he just wants to win, and he's doing all the dirty work that often goes unnoticed. The Falcons knew what they were getting when they signed him to a 3-year, $12 million contract this past offseason, and boy, is he delivering. Let's take a closer look at Warner's impact. In that same Panthers game, Warner wasn't just sealing blocks, he was driving defenders downfield, helping create massive running lanes. It's no wonder he earned a game ball despite not even recording a catch. But it's that kind of unselfish, hard-nosed play that's adding an extra punch to Atlanta's offense. And he's got the respect of his teammates and coaches. Kirk Cousins, yeah, the same Kirk who's been leading the charge under center, said he was told by a former 49er that he'd love Warner because, despite being in only his 5th year, he plays like he's in year 12. High praise from the veteran QB. Cousins hasn't even targeted Warner much since the opener, but that doesn't matter. His value to the Falcons isn't measured in catches, it's in his ability to block, create space, and bring energy to the offense. That energy? It's contagious. Head coach Raheem Morris called Warner the juice behind our running game. He's not just a blocker, he's a leader, someone who brings the fight every single day, in practice and in games. And that kind of mentality is what wins championships, Falcons fans. He's already transformed our ground attack, and there's more to come. But here's something even more exciting, Warner's versatility. This guy isn't just a tight end, he can play in the backfield, act as a fullback, and give our offense all kinds of options. And you know who loves having those options? Our offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. He's been rolling out different personnel packages with Warner, keeping defenses guessing. That kind of flexibility opens up so many possibilities for our offense as we gear up for the second half of the season. With a player like Warner adding depth and grit, and the trade deadline looming, the Falcons are in a position to make some serious changes, both on and off the field. So what's next? Will we see a new pass rusher in the black and red before November 5th? Or will injuries force a change in our strategy? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this team is building something special, and Warner is a key part of that. All right, Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Should the Falcons go all in on a pass rusher before the trade deadline? And how impressed are you with Charlie Warner's impact on our running game? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a thing. We have big things coming, and you're going to want to stay in the loop. Go Falcons!